price of oil has gone up more in the last 24 hours than on any other single day in the last 6 years.
That's right. Brent crude, the international gauge of oil prices, surged to $114 a barrel, up 25% overnight, sending markets tumbling across the board. Let's just have a look at this price. It has pared back a tiny bit in the last hour or two. So Brent's currently sitting at $108 a barrel. It was 114 moments ago. It's still up 17% overnight. And that follows what was already the biggest weekly surge last week of a move of 35% on record. You can see it on this chart, very clear to see oil prices surging in the last couple of hours, surging, of course, in the last week. And that also, by the way, followed, Sophie, a 25% surge from January before the war broke out on the expectation of possible conflict. I just want to remind viewers of what the former Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt, told us on the programme last week. For every 10% increase in oil prices, the Treasury's rule of thumb is that that can lower GDP growth by 0.1% and increase inflation by 0.1%. Pretty much since the start of the January, we've doubled. We're up about 100% there or thereabouts, which would imply, based on rule of thumb, that we might see GDP reduced by 1 full percentage point if these oil price surges persist. Let's snapshot the scale of this move as well, just on a 6-year chart, because it brings into sight, of course, a pretty crucial moment with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. You can see the scale of that increase in oil prices in 2022 compared to today's, pretty much of the same scale. By the way, also, you can see the fall at COVID when people thought no one's going to travel anymore. Again, the fall there about the same scale as the increase we're seeing right at this point in time. What does this mean for equity markets? Let's look at Asian markets for you, because it shows a massive slide. We're talking about a 6% slide in the Nikkei. We're talking about a 7% slide in the Korean market. They're much in the eye of the storm because a lot of this oil through the Middle East goes to Asia. They're net energy importers, Japan and Korea. So they've been in the eye of the storm. The FTSE 100 is only expected to open down by 1% as we stand. Sophie, I'm going to be very much looking at what our borrowing costs do, though, at 8 a.m. in just under an hour. Let's have a look at this chart. This is the 10-year borrowing cost for the UK over the last 6 months. Last week, we saw quite a big surge, as you can see.